In the endless sea of races in the universe, I decided to become the Amorph, a fierce alien beast. This race thrives by consuming and evolving, eventually reaching a stage where they can gulp down an entire planet in just one bite. Ironically, despite their immense power, this race music has the lowest online presence of all. This is mainly because Amorphs are incredibly vulnerable when they first hatch. They can only take down a cockroach with stealthy ambushes. Music. As I glanced at the shockingly low stats before me, I rubbed my eyes in disbelief, thinking it had to be a mistake. These numbers are ridiculously pathetic. It seems like an eternity to evolve into a true overlord, but stressing about it won't change a thing. Just as I shut the info music window, I underwent my first molt. After the molt, I felt utterly drained. I needed to regain my strength quickly, so I crept into an abandoned warehouse. Crawling out in search of music food would expose me, and others could squish me like a dried scorpion. I activated the hypersenses music distinct to Amorphs and swiftly detected a container full of food, but to my dismay, it was password protected. So I typed in 1234, music. In the next moment, the warehouse door swung open. Looks like luck was on my side with that guess music. How many people would use such a password? Just as I finished devouring a piece of chocolate, I spotted a cockroach scuttling by behind me. Hence, I seized the opportunity while it was distracted, music, and executed my lightning 5-hit combo, successfully taking it down. In that moment, I couldn't help but wonder what a cockroach would music taste like to an Amorph. So I swallowed it in one gulp, crispy and crunchy with a hint of chicken flavor. Then suddenly an info window popped up. Congratulations on activating the Predator music effect, successfully extracting cockroach wings. Do you want to apply? I never expected to snag music genetic fragments so fast. The chances of this happening are incredibly slim. Genetic music fragments are essential for Amorphs. They can only grow stronger by endlessly devouring. So without hesitation, I smashed the music confirm button. Suddenly, 2 bulges formed on my back and a set of wings sprouted instantly. Gazing at these gray wings, I couldn't help but feel pleased. After all, this was a priceless life-saving tool. But music, how to actually fly, had me puzzled. So I envisioned them as part of my being, using my mind to command the wing muscles. In the next instant, music was soaring. However, flying for merely a short while had me sweating bullets. The energy drain from flying was far more than I had predicted. After music restoring some energy with a few bites, I turned my attention to the cockroaches because they were far tastier than that waxy chocolate. Music. It was officially cockroach hunting hour. Before I realized it, I had devoured 20 of them. Yet this time I didn't snag any cockroach, music, genetic fragments. The exoskeleton only gets tougher by leveling up. The reason I consumed so many cockroaches' music was to absorb their incredible vitality. Since no one is patrolling here, I need to quickly gobble up a few more. Before I realized it, I had devoured 20 of them. But this time, no cockroach came my way. Music, genetic fragments. The exoskeleton's upgrade relies solely on leveling up. I gobbled so many cockroaches' music to gain their relentless vitality. Since there's no one patrolling this area, I need to scarf down a few more fast. So in this time frame, I entirely morphed into the ultimate foe of cockroaches. With my flying skills, I swiftly pinpointed the cockroaches' hideouts, scaring off the stragglers so badly that they fled at my mere presence. But slipping away right under my gaze, the ultimate Amorph isn't a walk in the park. This time, I got careless and failed to dodge an obstacle, making my bald head look distinctly horned. Don't think hiding in your shell keeps you safe. I launched my tail's stinger straight at the cockroach. Let's see your escape plan this time. As I devoured the cockroach, the info window popped up again. Predator effect activated. Successfully acquired the cockroach's fragment of tenacious vitality. Do you wish to apply it? So I picked yes without a second thought. Then my muscles and bones surged outward rapidly, making me appear much more powerful than before. At the same time, I caught human voices drifting in from outside the warehouse. For an Amorph like me, humans and I are enemies at heart. I need to amp up before they notice me. I can't just chill in this warehouse. Then I squeezed my way through the ventilation shaft into a pipeline leading to an adjacent experimental cabin. There are fewer humans lounging around there. If I get caught escaping by wrecking, the inside equipment would be easier. Just as I crawled into the duct, the exhaust fan suddenly roared to life. Crap, this complicates things. I could only gingerly remove the fan's outer casing. If I wrecked the vent system, the AI would surely tip off the humans, and attracting them would be a hassle. Now's the time to tap into my shape-shifting tricks. Iron oxide and tin dust swirling in the air can slightly slow down the fan blades at certain spots. After my brain crunched the data, it yelled, "Jump now." So, I channeled all my strength into my wings and bolted toward the exhaust fan with everything I had. With just a ding, I successfully soared through the hefty barrier. That was truly a life or death moment. One hit from those fan blades and I'd be missing limbs for good. I hope I don't have to deal with stuff like that again. As I kept crawling, I overheard human chatter in the duct. From their talk, I picked up some juicy intel about experiments. Initially, I thought this was just an ordinary spaceship, but it turns out it belongs to a mega corporation. Mega corporations are flourishing human factions scattered across the solar system, where nations are ruled not by governments but by giant corporations. Most of them are hardcore materialists. While most human races in the game are neutral, Mega corporations tend to lean towards the evil side. They snatch others for their experiments. Looks like I need to tread more carefully. Then I quietly scoped out the lab because what's inside could shape my evolutionary destiny. If they're researching combat variant super soldiers, I could snag a powerful body and fighting skills. If it's the sinister space elf race, I could gain formidable psychic powers. Between those two abilities, I lean toward the psychic ones. But come on, these are just my guesses. In that moment, I caught a faint sound of someone crying for help, which baffled me. After scouring the area, I finally pinpointed where it was coming from. It turned out to be an amoeba. This struck me as odd since amoebas are deemed one of the most useless mutated creatures around. Their sole skill is hoarding oxygen. I activated my hypersenses and realized it was currently being shocked. Could this be the experiment those two humans were discussing? So, I hit the release button. The amoeba expressed its gratitude for my assistance. Just then, I heard footsteps, prompting me to quickly find a hiding spot. As the cabin door creaked open, a woman with a black cat strolled in. She looked extremely displeased with the man's experimental outcomes. When the man learned about the revocation of his senior researcher title, he broke out in a cold sweat. If he could uncover potential in test subject number 26, his promotion to chief researcher would be guaranteed, so the woman resolved to have him use Solemn on the test subject. It's an awakening drug made by the Star Union. Hearing this, the man showed some reluctance, but for the sake of his senior researcher title, he ultimately decided to comply. Then he injected 0.07 milligrams of Salome into the amoeba. However, the woman felt that was far too little, so she directly maxed out the dosage. As the drug kept flowing into it, the amoeba emitted agonizing cries. Witnessing this, the woman wore a satisfied grin. Watching all this unfold from afar, I was taken aback. Once the drug injection was over, the amoeba shifted from pink to gray, its energy becoming faint. The woman instructed the man to collect data and then turned to leave. Suddenly, she glanced up at the experimental apparatus, but there was nothing in sight. Was she being overly cautious? This took me by surprise. This woman is more complex than I'd originally thought. The scene changed and I found myself in a room filled with pipes. Then I spat a mouthful of void venom towards the pipe connections, allowing the pipes to spread my toxin throughout the entire warship. This ship feels like an extension of my being. I can sense every single move of everyone on board, even their muted conversations. By the fourth day of morphing, my nest was finalized, and in the days that followed, I flitted between it and the cargo area, devouring cockroaches and spiders while gathering crucial intel. I also discovered some details about that woman Kisaragi, the leader of the research team on this ship. Though her physique is frail, she holds the most significant influence here and poses a threat to my existence. 2 days ago, an incident occurred. A test subject made a break for it. She crafted a tracking device in 2 hours and successfully recaptured the test subject. If that fugitive had utilized the ventilation ducts, I would have been in serious trouble too. In the next moment, she gazed toward the ventilation opening after sensing she was being observed again, yet saw nothing. Little did she know I was quaking in fear. For a human, her senses are remarkably sharp. Could she possess psychic abilities? You know those famous superpowers like telepathy, mind control, and such. Occasionally, humans do acquire these talents too, but regardless of her potential abilities, she is always surrounded by alert, armed soldiers. How am I supposed to handle her? At the same time, my abilities have surged once again. This time, I scored a batch of paralytic venom, which for a weakling like me is quite the lifesaver since just one drop can take down a grown adult for 5 minutes flat. But to deploy this venom, I need a situation where it's just me and her. She's got soldiers shadowing her every hour of the day, making it practically impossible for me. For now, I'll step out and unwind. So, I snagged 2 chocolate bars and made my way outside, then quietly slipped into the lab. After a few days of recovery, the amoeba was looking much healthier. I scaled up to the control panel and opened a window to sprinkle some food in, and the food trickled through the pipes, gradually being absorbed. The amoeba was thrilled to munch on its meal. Logically, amoebas don't boast any exceptional skills, but this one is different. I can't help but wonder if its species has shifted. Meanwhile, I recalled that Kisaragi often cradles a black cat. She adores this cat named Caesar. If that feline went missing, would she show her vulnerability? Before long, I navigated through the ventilation duct to its location. I must say, this cat is living the high life. It even has its own private chamber. At first glance, the duct opening seemed normal, but my enhanced senses revealed a web of laser sensors. Even the tiniest brush would set off the AI alarm. Damn it. After I banged my fist on the floor in frustration, the black cat perked up at the noise, and it darted toward the duct, but thankfully an iron grate stood in its way. Just moments after its paws brushed the iron, grate guards rushed in but saw nothing out of the ordinary. Upon spotting the black cat, both of them looked dumbfounded as if they were already accustomed to it. At that instant, I panicked. If those two had caught me, it would have been game over. I almost got betrayed by my own tail. Regaining my composure, a thought struck me. From their reactions, it seems they have no control over this cat, even allowing it to roam freely. If that's the case, I have a plan. The scene transitioned to the following day. I made a subtle noise at the ventilation opening and then turned to slip away. When the black cat curiously approached, it discovered a cockroach inside. Its eyes lit up and it promptly knocked the iron grate aside. The soldiers did nothing to stop it upon witnessing this. They could only wait for it to return before resecuring the duct. Now it's just a matter of time before the black cat falls into my trap. I place cockroaches at intervals along the pipe. As long as it follows this route, I'll seize my chance to keep it here. When the black cat crawled out from the duct, I swiftly launched a surprise attack. Under the influence of the toxin, the black cat collapsed into unconsciousness. The scene shifted back to Kisaragi. Kisaragi stormed into the captain's office, visibly furious. The moment the captain laid eyes on her, he could sense trouble brewing. When will I see Caesar again? It's been 2 hours since I last saw him. My Caesar sticks to his feeding schedule. Something must be wrong. Amid Kisaragi's intensity, the captain maintained his composure. Unless that feline somehow commandeered a rescue vessel to bail, it must be music, lurking somewhere on the ship. Creating a scene over a damn cat facing down a team leader while he's the captain infuriated him. Yet music felt powerless, since she hailed from the aristocracy representing the capital. And right now, Kisaragi appeared to be losing it, insisting the captain get rid of the earlier soldiers at once. This sent chills down his spine. Music. The captain has the authority to make quick decisions. He needed to wield that power now. Her actions left the music nearby researchers speechless. The soldiers were even more furious. So the captain had no choice but to agree to conduct the trial after locating Music the cat. Hearing this, Kisaragi began to chill out. But she only allowed the captain 2 hours. If it's not found in 2 hours, you can kiss your captaincy goodbye. Once she stormed out, the captain could only curse. Where Music did that damn scruffy cat scurry off to? And I just grinned. Of course, it's nestled in my belly. After devouring the black cat, I unlocked a special skill, Wild Instinct. Music. This is a unique constitution I've never encountered. The Wild Instinct trait can meld with the current Supersensory trait. It fused with Supersensory and evolved Music into Predator Instinct. This instinct can perceive looming threats through the present data. I also attempted to trigger this instinct, but it didn't work. It might be an automatically activated passive Music trait since no threats are present. It hasn't awakened yet. I'll have to explore this further later on. Now let's see what Music she's up to. Soon I reached the room where she was. Everything unfolded as I anticipated. This kind of person only shows compassion towards what they Music treasure. Then my second scheme wrapped up successfully, fanning the flames between her and the guards, considering the guards had a Music-rocky relationship with this cat from the start. The core issue could be more about disdain for class. Kisaragi belongs to the upper echelons of the mega corporation that leads noble capital. Now that they're at odds, the Music soldiers certainly won't defend her like before. All credit for that goes to that little kitty. Simultaneously, Kisaragi, Music, stormed into the laboratory, unleashing her frustration on the test subjects within. Just when she was about to exit, she spotted Music test subject number 26. She displayed an unnerving grin, relentlessly smashing the power button. Only after witnessing it barely clinging to life did she leave content. Music. This was a twist I didn't foresee. My amoeba buddy endured it all, but fear not, soon enough, I'll help you get your revenge. Music. 2 hours ticked by and Kisaragi confronted the captain again. This time she was seething, instantly demanding his removal from the captaincy. Are you, Music, defying the commands of noble capital? I am the captain of this ship. Mind your tone. Even noble capital cannot tolerate Music stepping out of line. I have the authority to detain you. Hearing that, Kisaragi smirked disdainfully. Music. This situation is getting more thrilling. It seems tensions were brewing between them even before I started observing. At this moment, Kisaragi could only storm out in anger just as Music she passed the restroom. She felt the urge to go in and wash her face. Both soldiers took this chance, Music to hit the restroom, so I quickly crawled toward the vent opening. This was a golden opportunity for me. Typically, one person has to stay on lookout when nature calls. But with that distraction, both guards headed in together this time. Plus, the restroom lacked any security devices that could thwart my plans. These were Music-perfect conditions for an ambush. When Kisaragi bent down to wash her face, I was already hovering behind her. Before she could realize, I slipped up to the ceiling above. Suddenly, she sensed something. Music was off. She quickly turned around to check. But by then, it was far too late. As she screamed in alarm, Kisaragi dodged to the side to escape my poison stinger. Damn, Music it, she evaded me. Then I lunged at her again before she could land as the toxin coursed through her. Kisaragi instantly foamed at the mouth, losing her ability to Music move. In that moment, I wondered what emotions she was experiencing. Was it fear at the sight of me? Or anger about her predicament, or Music? Maybe even fear of death, but it was too late now. Concurrently, a dialogue box popped up. Conditions for evolution have been met. Do you wish to evolve? Do I even Music need to think about it? Absolutely, I'll evolve. Just as I was about to hit confirm, a vision of me getting shot flashed through my Music mind. That vision sent a chill down my spine. Was that the predator's instinct kicking in? Damn it, I must get out of here right now. Just then I heard footsteps approaching outside, so I swiftly climbed the wall to hide. When the soldier Music noticed Kisaragi, I leaped onto his back, swinging my poison stinger at his vulnerable spot. After that, I shot straight up to the vent opening and secured Music, the iron grate. I must escape before his companion discovers what happened. Soon I returned to my nest. Now I could evolve uninterrupted. Then I smashed the confirm button. What followed was Music, a cascade of tiny droplets of sweat. In an instant, they grew to the size of water drops. Before long, a red, viscous music liquid completely engulfed me. My god, this evolution method is incredibly unique. If I recall my fetal memories, would it feel something like this music? This liquid is reshaping me into a true amorph, though I'm dying to open my eyes and see. I can't move right now. All I can do is wait for the evolution. Music to wrap up. The scene shifted to the next day. As the shell writhed, a black-purple amorph crawled out from music within. I finally broke free from the hatchling phase and truly took my first step. At the music, same time, the captain gathered all the key members after discovering Kisaragi dead in the restroom. If they can't uncover the reason, surely no one present will escape the heat. Just then music, the vice captain came up with a plan. We're currently near planet C8 right in space pirate territory. If we pin this on the space pirates, the higher-ups will definitely be left speechless. Music. Space pirates are notorious scoundrels who maraud and plunder. Plus, they're one of the mega-corporation's fiercest enemies. If we claim we were attacked by them, we can easily mask Kisaragi's death. The scene shifted. At this moment, I was enjoying my new post-evolution physique. The higher-ups will definitely be left speechless. Music. Space pirates are notorious villains who wreak havoc in space. Additionally, they are one of the mega-corporation's greatest foes. If we report being ambushed by them, we can successfully cover up Kisaragi's death. The scene shifted. At this moment, I was reveling in my post-evolution form. Right now, I'm steering clear of larvae. I ought to music switch up my game plan. Before staying out of human sight was the only way I could stay alive. With survival no longer an issue, it's time to music, think about the next move. So I pulled up the attribute panel. The evolution status has shown up at least once. Music. Morphological evolution has 6 stages with a total of 5 evolutions to go through. It kicks off with the initial hatchling phase and moves into the music current larval stage. Next is the pupa phase, followed by the pre-adult phase. Finally, we arrive at adulthood. Once I hit the music adult stage, I'll truly be a morph. When a shapeshifter levels up in the game, every secret regarding their origins is unveiled, where they come from, what they really are, and more. So it might be the same in reality. My true identity will be exposed then. But those are thoughts for later. Now let's check out the types I've unlocked. Just as I expected, physical enhancement types are nearly all achieved thanks to the reinforced music exoskeleton and acidic blood traits I gained from becoming a larva. The type resembles abilities found in other races' music, but with a twist. When conditions align, this type unlocks related abilities for synergistic boosts. Yet, I find this second type quite music odd. I can't remember ever eating this kind of creature. Did I overlook something? Soon. It clicked, it was that girl named Kisaragi. This must be due to her superpowers. Music. Now I've got to consume her to make progress. I reopened the ventilation duct. Now that I've grown, the duct feels way tighter. Soon, music, I caught her scent. Found you. At this moment, a red-haired guy was jamming to music with his headphones on. Suddenly, he caught a whiff of something odd. Music. He quickly got up to check it out. When he entered the room, he gasped at the sight before him. Music. There was a hole in the floor that looked like something had eaten through it while he was pondering. Little did he realize danger was silently creeping up. Music. Just as he turned around, I lunged right in front of him. Time to hunt. In a flash, I took care of the man. Then I went straight to the cold storage music room and yanked off the white sheet. There lay Kisaragi. Since she was from the noble capital, she remained completely untouched even in death. They certainly wouldn't let just anyone mess with her body. Music. Yet here I was capable of killing without a hint of guilt. Have I already lost my humanity since becoming a morph? Or was this music cold, brutal persona the real me all along? Never mind. Overthinking this won't change a thing. So I devoured the woman in one swift motion. Music. At that moment I felt something lodged in my mouth. I had no clue what this device was or its purpose. Could she, music, have had heart issues? I crushed the core without a second thought. Then the information window popped up. Predator. Music effect activated. Acquired mental organ genetic fragment. Do you wish to apply the mental organ? Just as I suspected. Music. This guy had psychic powers. However, this mental organ isn't of much use. Music to me. Can't dwell on that now. First, let's get that progress bar filled. Just after I hit the confirm button, numerous tentacle-like hairs sprouted from the back of my neck. Looks like the predator instinct is kicking in. As soon as I hit the confirm button, a bunch of tentacle-like hairs sprouted from my neck. It's like tapping into my predatory instincts. Yet another trait fusion that proved useful. My gaze shifted to the guard. We're now in the growth phase. Nothing must be wasted. Moments later, I sensed the guards stirring outside. Seems like they're switching shifts, which means this doctor will be replaced too. When someone new enters this room, they'll catch sight of the changes. Once they figure out this was the work of a monster, they'll definitely come after me. I still lack the power to face off against the crew. I need a strategy to buy time until I grow stronger. At that moment, I noticed the black smoke creeping from the corroded deck with chemicals meant for body preservation nearby. An interesting idea popped into my head. This could be a smart way to navigate the crisis and trouble the crew. The scene shifted elsewhere. An old man was cheerfully tending to his crops. Suddenly, 2 men dressed in black approached him. They were there to convey the news of Kisaragi's death. Hearing that his 3rd daughter had perished, he burst out laughing, claiming it was impossible. Witnessing this, The nearby butler was sweating bullets. Nevertheless, the man in black reiterated the grim news. The last signal was traced to near C8. The investigation revealed this was within the territory of space pirates. Before the man in black could finish explaining, he received a powerful punch. As he fell, the man seized a farming axe and swung it at him. Once that was sorted, several more men in black arrived and carried him away. This man was the leader of the Eugene family, one of the prominent families in the East Asian region of Earth base. His fury stemmed from the fact that investing in Kisaragi could have bought an interstellar warship. All connected to that vessel, I want them buried alongside my daughter. The scene shifted again as the ice room was discovered ablaze. The bodies inside were charred beyond recognition. Everyone was clueless about what had transpired. I can't fathom how a fire could ignite amongst so many corpses. Suddenly, the leader of the medical team had a thought and urgently summoned the captain for an emergency meeting, suspecting this matter was more complex than it seemed. When the captain found out Kisaragi's body was missing, he broke into a cold sweat. I checked several times. Indeed, only 2 bodies are unaccounted for considering the chemicals in the morgue could ignite a fire, but this was an unusual situation. Hence the vice captain theorized it might be intentional arson, though others believe it was the work of an amorph. However, the supply team leader reacted strongly, outright rejecting that notion. In that instant, the captain realized that without a solution, we would all endure the nobility's wrath, and I was nestled in the ventilation duct, closely observing their every action. It appeared my previous plan was executed perfectly, a tactic to obscure my identity and confuse my foes. Who would suspect that mixing chemicals in the morgue could spark a fire? Plus, I added my corrosive solution. Thanks to this, things were unfolding smoothly, though I hadn't anticipated the amorphic appearing. What's worse, they're aiming to contact those space pirates. The captain must have lost his mind. This time, it's the risk management team leader taking the reins. Everything was going music smoothly, but I hadn't foreseen the amorphic's rise. Most importantly, their intention is to reach out to those space pirates. The captain must be out of his mind. Once again, it's music, the risk management team leader stepping up. I'll deal with him later. He could be in league with pirates. Since those pirates are from different races, I can swipe various genes. But those genetic fragments I snagged from the research ship music will dwindle if they come under attack. I gotta check out the pirates' level to make a solid call. Just then I spotted another guy. He appears to be the supply management head music who outright denied my presence. He shouldn't be connected to this situation. So why is he acting like this? Meanwhile, the dude was cautiously scanning his surroundings. Music before slipping into a warehouse. His actions felt really weird to me. What secret is he hiding music that made him react this way? When I used my hypersenses, I couldn't penetrate this container. This just intensified my belief he's hiding something crucial. Music. Initially, I aimed to go after the medical team leader, but I shifted gears. He's my new target. The scene then changed. The supply team leader hit the music bar to drown his sorrows after believing the black market cultist dealer and smuggling an alien creature's egg. Music. Unexpectedly, the day after stuffing it into the container, the creature's egg hatched. He kept this to himself, but if the captain caught wind, music, he'd be toast. At that moment, he thought Kisaragi was devoured by that alien creature, leaving him deeply troubled. After downing his drinks and stumbling back to his quarters, music, he had the unsettling feeling that something was watching him. But when he turned, there was nothing there. Damn it, could it be a figment of my imagination? Just then, music heard rustling noises. Then he caught a glimpse of the monster's half-visible body, and his buzz vanished instantly. He bolted away. Damn it, Sue music. He arrived at the cabin door, punching in the password at a pace unimaginable for humans. Once inside, he stumbled over a wine bottle left behind. Just music. As he was about to call for help, rustling sounds came from the door again, along with the sound of password entry. As music, the cabin door gradually opened. A black-purple omorph loomed before him. In that instant, he shook music with fear, unable to let out a scream, and I advanced closer, sniffing. Bro, you smell amazing. Right after I dealt with the supply team leader, I rummaged music through his place. From what I saw, this guy's super lazy. Dirty socks were nearly music tossed into bowls. The captain should thank me for helping him downsize. Looking at this cluttered floor, even I as a morph thought it was gross. After scouring his entire room, I still couldn't find his work badge. Where on earth did he stash such an essential item? Just then I spotted the poster on music, the wall. She looks incredibly hot. But maybe due to my current state, I'm feeling nothing. How ridiculous. When I picked up the folder on the table, a card slipped out. Awesome. Now I have everything. Time to bounce. But before I head out, let's tidy up this music place. The scene shifted and I arrived at the container I couldn't sense before. Slipping in the work badge plus fingerprint authentication, the hefty cabin door creaked open slowly. Let me find out what's really lurking inside. Music. Inside, I saw rows of freezers. So this guy is a smuggler. Just then, I spotted something close by. A card dropped out. Awesome. Now I've got everything I need. Time to make my exit. But first, let me tidy up this music. Spot. The scene shifted, and I found myself at the container that had slipped under my radar before. Inputting the work badge along with fingerprint verification, the heavy cabin door creaked open slowly. Let's see what's really lurking inside. Music. Inside, I discovered rows of freezers. Looks like this guy is a smuggler. Just then, something caught my eye nearby. One container was already wrecked, and the being within had broken free. This must be the egg I originated from. No wonder there was this familiar vibe. In the game Music, a morph's initial location isn't on spaceships. They originate from an enigmatic ruin. I'm clueless about what occurred during transport, but it appears that after hatching the original Amorph escaped Music, the container, and perished due to insufficient energy restoration. Then, my awareness seized control of Music, this body. It makes sense why I found cockroaches so appetizing. It was the body's survival drive. After a brief moment of mourning for the eggshell, I redirected my focus to the nearby freezers. Music, time to engage in some inhuman acts, so I quickly snatched the remaining Amorph eggs. The first hatched Amorphs will consume the other eggs. Music, it's the survival principle of Amorphs. Sadly, no predator instinct notification appeared. I genuinely owe a debt of gratitude to nature's offerings. Then I gazed at the remaining eggs. The rest of the kin can't be overlooked either. Then the music window reappeared. This time I acquired a mimicry ability. Honestly, I felt a bit let down after devouring Kisaragi. What I received wasn't psychic powers, but a useless music psychic organ. However, considering the supply team leader entrusting me with such a valuable gift, there's no reason for disappointment. These skills could prove crucial in the mid or late game since I can mimic music, the traits of individuals I've previously consumed. With these abilities, my mobility will increase. Time is running short before Music. I encounter the space pirates. I have to strengthen myself as much as possible. Their danger is unknown. In the universe, no one will hear Scream's music amidst the vast void. Cries will be utterly swallowed by the dark chasm. The scene transitions to the warship's landing bay. At Music, this moment, numerous individuals were mending the fighter jets. Yet they were uncertain why the captain wanted to examine these Music warships, as they had received no news of conflict at all because of it. Their theories were wildly divergent. The scariest was that space monsters Music had infiltrated the warship since many people had gone missing. Overhearing the two men's chatter, the nearby man also interjected Music. He had also heard about the supply team leader going missing, but the blonde man doubted it was true. However, the other two persisted Music in believing these rumors. This infuriated the blonde man, prompting him to turn and leave. The scene shifts to midnight. The two men, Music, are still working on the fighter jet. At that moment, the blonde man mentions he will grab some drinks and Music steps away. Just then, the black-haired man hears the supply team leader's voice. Being alone, he halts his task to investigate. Music, upon stepping outside, he sees nothing. Suddenly, the voice calls from the maintenance bay once again. As he moves closer to look inside, it's utterly dark. Music, which puzzles him, yet he still flicks on his flashlight and proceeds in. Abruptly, an acrid smell assaults Music, his nostrils. It resembles the scent of decaying metal, but the voice continues to draw him in. Suddenly, he stumbles over a screw and collapses, staring at the shadowy surroundings before him. Memories of the supply Music team leader's disappearance flash in his mind. Nothing is visible. Just then, the voice beckons again from the maintenance bay. Upon approaching to take a look inside, it's pitch black. Music, which confounds him, yet he still activates his flashlight and steps in. Out of the blue, a foul odor strikes Music. His senses. It seems to be the scent of rotting metal, but the voice continues to entice him forward. Suddenly, he trips over a screw and tumbles, gazing into the eerie darkness surrounding him. The news about the supply Music, the sudden vanishing of the team leader. Could it actually be a creature from outer space? Little does he know. The alien has already crept up behind him. Before he has time to react, the alien seizes his head. I can sense the stench of fear, accompanied by a scream from the maintenance area. The entire landing bay falls eerily quiet. When the blonde guy returns with drinks, the dark-haired guy is nowhere to be found. Out of nowhere, the dark-haired man's voice breaks the silence nearby. Staring into the inky black maintenance bay leaves him puzzled, but a voice inside urges him to rush in and move things around. He brushes off his doubts and pushes forward. Yet as he steps inside, he finds emptiness. Just a flashlight discarded on the floor. As he crouches to grab it, he feels a viscous liquid creeping up behind him. The next moment, countless crimson drops plummet down. Looking up, he spots a vicious alien leering at him from the ceiling. With a chilling scream, the man's life comes to a sudden halt. I've got to admit, the ability to mimic is incredibly handy. This is all thanks to the creatures smuggled in by the supply team leader, including larvae known as red worms. Red worms are enormous desert dwellers that inhabit arid planets and can imitate the voices of other beings. Consequently, they're capable of hunting even in brutal conditions. Discovering red worm larvae and extracting their genetic fragments feels like striking gold for me. But there's a catch. It's a less potent version compared to the original. I'm limited to mimicking the voice of the last creature I consumed. His name was Cameron Dunn. Tomorrow night I'll take on his voice. Then I reopen the ventilation duct, eager to observe that amoeba. Referring to it as an amoeba feels odd. From here on out, I'll call it number 26. Soon I find myself over the laboratory and begin to comprehend its words. I never realized the psychic organ could be utilized like this, enabling me to interact with other beings through brainwaves. Then I reply to its statements. Number 26 expresses that it's significantly hungrier now and in need of food compared to before. Its vocabulary has expanded immensely. I directly apologize. Unfortunately, I can't provide food right now since the laboratory is heavily guarded. If I go down there, I risk being spotted by them. Currently, even the ventilation system up here is risky. All I can do is converse with you like this. Upon hearing my explanation, number 26 shows understanding. Then it warns me to be cautious and I pivot to leave. For now, I can only hope it manages to hold on. If I can evolve to the pupa stage, I might just rescue it. However, the conditions for pupa evolution are exceedingly demanding. I must consume 2 intelligent species and each species requires 10 individuals. This ship only houses humans, making pupa evolution impossible. There are pirates, but my knowledge about them is scarce. Just then, I catch the vice captain's voice. He seems to be in talks with someone mysterious. Suddenly, he appears to sense some surveillance, yet it's as if nothing is there, leaving him suspicious. After eavesdropping on his conversation, I'm stunned. I didn't anticipate him being such a clever fox. He aims to usurp the captain, pushing the captain to ally with the pirates. Yet from the phone call, it seems he has ulterior motives. I'll need to sit tight and see if this plays to my advantage, or a threat to me. The scene transitions to the other side. When the captain hears that there's another victim, he's fuming. Music. So far, 8 people aboard have perished, and I've attended every one of their meetups. Right now, I'm above them in the ventilation duct. Music, observing and chuckling to myself. They never guess the mastermind is right under their noses. Suddenly, the vice captain raises a concern due to the numerous cameras in the ship's music cabin. There's no way humans could conceal this much. Therefore, there's only one explanation: an unknown space creature is on board. Plus, the supply team leader found his container music empty, which makes him even more sure because they totally overlooked searching the vents from start to finish. Perhaps it's lurking up there, watching us. Damn this dude Arnold. I should have dealt with him music earlier. After he spoke, the captain mulled it over and agreed, promptly assigning him 8 men. Music. And then I slip away from here unnoticed. Seems like this clash is unavoidable. Knowing Arnold's personality, he'll certainly set up security in the ducts. Music. Now the ducts are under their watch too. Even if I leave my hideout, I've got nowhere to go. The hallway is monitored. The ducts can't be used. It's time to make a crucial decision. Let's go to war. Music. Even without limbs, I will sink my teeth into the enemy's throat because I'm an unstoppable void predator warrior. This time, I won't hold back and activate music. Maximum hypersenses dissecting the warship's structure along with the enemy's positioning and movements. If I visualize this ship sailing through music, the vast emptiness of space as a living entity, then right now I'm akin to a parasite that's infected its brain because I know everything stirring music on the ship. The captain and various team leaders are assembled in the command room. Arnold ought to be there giving orders. I've also pinpointed the movements, music, of armed soldiers as predicted. They're splitting up to enter from 2 entry points. The plan's music. Foundation is set. I'll tweak the specifics according to enemy weapons and maneuvers. Now let's see who the real prey is. Little lambs. Currently, the search party is divided, music, into 2 units. One group consists of 3. Their movements are entirely organized by the command room. Arnold is music, utterly taken aback by the sight of alien creatures, because taking out Kisaragi was his original goal. But he's increasingly anxious that unforeseen variables, music, could disrupt his plans, so he must eliminate the monster. Just then, Team A's trio reaches a crossroads. At that moment, AH's radio is acting weird. Arnold commands him, music, to stop and fix it before moving on. Meanwhile, the communications officer realizes AH's camera music has stopped moving, but just after the commander's call. It goes back to normal as teams B2 and B3 get ready to meet up. Yet music, just when the 2 manage to converge, B2 screams. Arnold knows the beast has shown itself. In a split second, B2 loses contact with the command center. Things music happen too quickly for the control room to gather any useful intel. Only then does Arnold comprehend. We clearly underestimated it. A soldier in medium reinforced armor got taken down in one shot. It's a beast, music, far more agile than I thought. Hence Arnold issues a direct kill order. It's a beast, music, far more agile than I thought. Hence Arnold issues a direct kill order. No matter who picks up a sound, fire right away. The comms officer instructs B3 to link up with B1 since being solo makes you a prime target for the beast. Just when B1 and B3 music converge, B1 claims he hears some rustling noises. He senses something creeping closer, but he soon eases his vigilance upon catching B3's voice. Arnold breathes a sigh of relief after hearing this. Music. This is the control center. B1 and B3 check in after connecting. An ear-splitting scream suddenly shatters the silence. B1 realizes B3's body has music been overtaken by the alien creature. Arnold swiftly snatches the communicator to reach out to B1. He demands a detailed explanation immediately. Music, yet the outcome reveals nothing but darkness. This causes him to curse in frustration. Damn it, he can't fathom how they were so close yet see nothing. It's utterly absurd. He carefully recalls music that neither B1 nor B3 showed up on the camera unless they purposefully dodged the monster's presence. Suddenly, something clicks in his mind. He grabs the headset again to check in with B1. Music. This time, the captain demands he state his name and rank, but B1 remains silent, so I stop pretending music too. I promptly smash the camera. When they witness the monster's hand demolishing the camera, they are left speechless. They never anticipated B1 would be taken out right in front of them. I first handled Team B and through Frequency's music, picked up on hints from chats with number 26, utilizing frequency interference as a tactical maneuver. Music, because the signals I emitted disrupted B3's rear equipment. So, one of them was forced to leave the squad to repair his gear. Music, I used the newly developed fusion neurotoxin to take him down. After that, I devoured him. Now only Team A remains. I need to track their location. Right, music. Now they're on high alert, as anticipated. Due to Team B, they remain clueless about my presence, leaving them vulnerable. But Team A caught me mimicking human voices, so they'll be music extremely cautious. Perhaps this time I can leverage their intellect against them. There's a fork coming up in Team A's path. They'll be through here shortly and I plan to set an ambush. Sometimes having too much knowledge can be a curse. Moments later, Team A reaches the fork, music, and the control room orders them to fire at the first sound of voices. Sure enough, an echo comes from the hallway. Upon hearing music the three don't hesitate to pull their triggers. Then they finally spot the silhouette of the monster. Two press on to investigate while leaving one behind to guard. Unbeknownst music to them, I have already slipped in behind the three through the ventilation. The chill of danger prickles their spines, yet when they spin around there's nothing there. However, I'm now right in front of one and have him music hostage, forcing him to shout for the others to fire. After multiple pleas, the two finally open fire, and I can only turn and flee. Although this laser weapon isn't overly strong, it still grazed music my skin. I maneuver around a corner to shake off the two watching. Number 3 teeter on the edge of shock with no way to assist. Number 1 is music furious. Damn monster. When I get my hands on you, I'll rip you apart. Meanwhile, hostage, so he instantly commands the others to fire. After multiple requests, the pair finally take the shot, and I can only turn and run. Although this laser weapon isn't super powerful, it still grazed music my skin. Then I use the corner to lose the two, seeing number 3 on the brink of shock with no way to assist. Number 1 is music seething with rage. Damn monster. When I catch you, I'll rip you apart. Meanwhile, the duo spots the monster's blood staining the ground. They've never encountered blood that has such potent corrosive effects. As they push forward, they stumble upon a lower pipe. So A1 demands a dose of enhancement drugs. With the injection of the serum, A1's power amplifies dramatically. He vows he'll take down the monster himself. Soon enough, the two find a massive opening. Realizing this, they deduce the monster has fled into the corridor. Then they update the command room on their findings. Unbeknownst to them, this is merely my distraction. While their focus drifts, I launch a surprise attack. Braving the hail of bullets, I take out one of them. The other, witnessing this, retaliates with full force, but I cleverly use the first one as a shield. At the same time, I brandish my tail stinger, but it gets swatted away by his punch. Spotting that fist coming toward me, I quickly decide to sidestep. Luckily, my speed enables me to evade harm, so I resort to the 36 strategies. Retreat is the smartest move. Seeing the monster escape ignites pure fury in A, and I slip through the pipe to safety. They're tougher than I anticipated. A strategy shift may be in order. I can't outwit them with small tricks anymore. I need a new plan. Then it hits me. How could I have overlooked him? At this moment, a 3 lies slumped in the pipe, barely clinging to life. After a quick glance, I charge right at him. From my mouth, potent acidic gas leaks out. A3 is frozen in fear at my sight. Without hesitation, I finish him off because I intend to use him as bait for incoming prey. This is the control center. A3 has been attacked by the monster. Repeat, A3 has been attacked by the monster. A1 finally returns to A3's spot only to find him drenched in blood. He drops his laser gun to aid A3. But suddenly, a tail stinger lunges through his chest. That's when he realizes he's been duped. He never thought an alien being could possess such cunning. Now escape is out of the question. I crawl out from the armor directly. My meticulously crafted plan has paid off. You smell much tastier than the others. I'll surely enjoy you at a leisurely pace. Witnessing this, the folks in the command room are utterly terrified. They come to understand these individuals can't take on the alien beast. After consuming the last soldier, I contemplate my next moves. Once they receive my warning, they'll come at me full force. I realize this ship lacks enhancement devices, but their existing gear poses a threat. If they've got plasma launchers, I'd be in serious trouble. Plasma weapons are high-energy tools designed for fleet warfare, primarily aimed at demolishing warships and tanks, yet they're bulky and cumbersome. A single person can't lug them around. Even though lighter variations exist, their costs are outrageous. Hence, medium-weight plasma launchers are the best option. I checked out this ship's armory. It's uncertain if they have the necessary equipment, but I currently see numerous soldiers converging on my previous location. They appear to be gearing up to encircle me. However, for me, this is a chance since I can strike back. While the foes are distracted elsewhere, I'll directly attack their headquarters. Most importantly, I need to take down Arnold. He's a massive threat to me. Soon I ascend above the command room. At the moment, they're furiously debating this squad incident, and I'm relishing the fact they didn't splash cash on new gear. Otherwise, I'd be facing serious trouble. Just then, Arnold requests the captain to deploy plasma launchers. But before the captain can object, other team leaders jump in, warning that using those aboard the ship is like digging your own grave. Now unsure they actually have them. Watching the chaos unfold below, it's the perfect moment for me to strike. Although I'm eager to take out Arnold, he's too far away from my reach. I have to target someone else. I soon zero in on my first target, the guy who tormented number 26 with drugs that day. It's decided you're my prey. With a powerful punch, I smash through the iron grating. The abyssal maw lunges straight at that researcher. It's feeding time. With one bite, the researcher meets a gruesome end before everyone's eyes. My gaze shifts to a few others nearby. In the blink of an eye, I take down 2 more. The remaining ones scatter in panic, while the communications officer frantically calls for backup. But just then, he drops dead right on the spot. Suddenly, a few bullets hit my body. I'm puzzled. This guy actually stayed put. His handgun can't hurt me, not a chance. Does he have some secret weapon? Just when I'm about to make my move, a vision of myself getting gunned down flashes through my mind. It freaks me out and makes me play it safe. He's definitely packing a plasma pistol. A shot to the head or chest would mean instant death. Even a scrape would be deadly. Damn. It implies he's affiliated with the Eugene family. Watching me hesitate, Arnold realizes I've seen him still holding weapons. When he reveals the pistol, everyone around is stunned. How does he have such a ridiculously valuable piece? Right now, he's gushing about me because he believes my tactics mirror those of his mentors. Then he pulls the trigger. But in terms of speed, I still have the upper hand. This is the most significant crisis I've faced since I was born in the cargo hold, but I will emerge victorious. Meanwhile, the laser shoots straight through the control panel and heads my way. This guy is peculiar, so I activate my void hypersenses. His heart rate remains steady as anticipated. That earlier fear was merely a facade. He must have analyzed me to some degree, suspecting I possess some kind of biological radar. I detect a familiar hunter scent coming from him, the scent of a seasoned predator. As the laser whizzes by, I quiver with fear. Luckily, this is the control room. There are plenty of control panels for me to dodge the damage. Observing the alien creature darting around, he's seething with rage. This damn rat. Right now, I engage my void hypersenses and overhear his words. As expected, he's just stalling, pretending he wants to kill me. But that's only a ruse. He's biding time while ensuring the captain and team leaders are safe. This is his strategy before the soldiers come to capture me. Just then, I spot the fire extinguisher below. This could be my lifesaver. So I yank the safety pin, unleashing a spray of powder into his line of sight to blind him. I grip the fire extinguisher tightly, scanning my surroundings. Everyone's just silhouettes, now obscured by smoke. With this chaos, he quickly orders everyone to bail on this spot. Gotta admit, his instincts are sharp, but his call is way off. I then channel the voices of those who've been consumed to mess with the minds of several. When they catch wind that Arnold's dead, a wave of panic hits them, uncertainty flooding their minds. The blonde guy in front, overwhelmed by the pressure, loses his grip on sanity, blasting directly toward the noise. That bullet finds Arnold perfectly, taking him out of the game. This opens a door for me, but I didn't foresee him raising his gun again. As I feel the laser graze my skin, adrenaline shoots through me, heightening my tension. Without a second thought, I spin and put distance between us. Suddenly, wings sprout from my back. No one saw my comeback coming. In a heartbeat, Arnold falters. The blonde, spotting me, mistakes me for Arnold. But as reality sinks in, he realizes it's the alien entity. Fear grips him, rendering him frozen. Oddly enough, the alien creature spares his life. I waste no time and dash right up the ventilation shaft, my instincts screaming for me to flee fast. After a 2.5-hour recovery, I'm back in the game. My injuries vanished. The last captain poses no threat now. It's also time to expand my territory, though picking a spot is a headache. First up is the cafeteria. Food is vital for survival. Next on the list is the armory with a plasma launcher. That weapon can end me, so it must be handled as soon as possible. Then the lab teeming with genetic samples and specimens. With gene fragments, I can evolve into the pupa stage. Gotta brace for any pirates or other threats that lurk. I've made up my mind. The cafeteria and lab are my nest locations. As for the ion launcher, I'll just have to snatch it back. The plasma weapons gnaw at me because of Arnold's haunting words. No clue what the person backing him is up to, but they could be tied to the pirates or hiding among them. Nothing scarier than a faceless enemy. I have to gather intel at all costs. Suddenly, I hear number 26's voice. Sounds upbeat today. Could it be due to the lack of experiments happening? Given the circumstances, no experiments are likely taking place. Everyone's terrified, retreating to their quarters. So should I take a risk and step out? Thus, I boldly reveal myself in front of the alarm. Meanwhile, on the flip side, as the armed squad crashes back into the lab, most inside have been wiped out. Only one researcher clinging to life from the tubes survives due to some immunity to toxins, so he gets lucky. Then he proposes that the captain consider surrendering to the space pirates, but the captain's not having it. He storms off without a word, furious. In this moment, the captain knows with so many team leaders down, fighting the pirates is beyond him. Escape is his only route now. Just then, two soldiers stumble upon an unusual laser gun. Seizing it, the captain adds it to his arsenal. Glancing at the ammo display overhead, showing 60% music energy still intact, he figures it can go on for quite a while. However, he fails to notice that the energy device is already compromised. Right now, I've been stuck in this pipe for a full 30 minutes, yet no music one shows up. I realize I can throw caution to the wind, so I smash through the iron grating without hesitation. It's been ages since I laid eyes on number 26. Peering at its skin, Hewitt looks robust. But remaining here like this means it's doomed to starve. Should I let it out? The amoeba's trait is that it's not fussy about food and is immune music to toxins, so either keeping it in the nest or taking it along is fine. So I ask if it wants to join me outside. Upon hearing this number, 26 lights up with joy. It's been itching to music escape this dreadful place. Then I instruct it to step aside for a moment. I rev up and use my forehead to smash through the glass tank. Just like that. The amoeba finally breaks free music from its confinement. After emerging, number 26 keeps expressing gratitude. Once that's done, I set it aside as I've got serious matters music to attend to. Then a torrent of green mucus sprays from my mouth as I thrash about. The mucus instantly blankets the whole lab. Witnessing music, the thick green sludge, I am quite pleased. The first nest is complete. Then I seize the parasite nearby. After forming the nest, I music need to recharge my energy. Meanwhile, number 26 is happily feasting on food. Just then, music. I hear footsteps approaching the door. Why do these people decide to show up now? By the sound of the steps, one is a soldier. The other appears to be a researcher. For music me, they're just two meals waiting to happen. When they swing open the lab door, they're taken aback by the scene laid out before them. The dense green mucus music spreads across the room like pulsing veins. The soldier realizes this is the work of an alien being, so he quickly fires behind him. But this is pointless for music me. I eliminate him with a single strike. Watching the soldier meet a horrific fate, the researcher nearby becomes paralyzed with fear. His knees weak. Music. In a flash, I seize his head. But suddenly I hear number 26 let out an enraged noise. Turns out this guy seems to have been involved in the experiments on number 26, music. It's furious because its tormentor stands right there. So I leave him for number 26 to deal with. Music. Then number 26 morphs into a blob of mucus instantly enveloping the man's head. It won't take long before his head disintegrates. Music. Meanwhile, I'm busy devouring genes. In the next moment, a dialog box pops up. Looks like gene fragments have been extracted. Various types are extractable. Music. Would you like to choose an application? I just consumed over 500 samples, but only snagged 3 traits. Music. Should I unlock types right away? Or go for a direct application? After all my time is running out. Music. I hit the confirm button immediately. The next instant, my back muscles expand noticeably, and my leg muscles bulk up significantly. While number 26 watches me grow in size, it feels a mix of envy and music curiosity. Then I explain to it, this is like evolving from a child to an adult, but it doesn't music. Seem to grasp the concept. It looks like there's still so much it needs to learn. Never mind that. I then take a closer look at my own body. Number 26 watches my transformation with envy and music curiosity. Then I explain to it, it's like growing from a child to an adult, but it doesn't music. Seem to grasp the concept. It appears to have so much more to learn. Never mind that. Then I inspect my body closely. Appear to grasp the significance. It looks like there's still much for it to absorb. No worries about that. Then I meticulously inspect my form. I feel transformed like a leopard has morphed into a rhinoceros. My height has skyrocketed. Plus my limbs are now clad in a tough biological armor. I can't help but wonder what new abilities I've acquired. So I pull up the attribute panel. Natural recovery tentacles. Contamination organ and natural recovery, merging with robust vitality for regeneration. It's all impressive. The only letdown is this psychic type. Although the variety of genes I can devour is limitless, the experience needed to gain new types will be doubled. For instance, if I first acquire Void Hypersenses Enhancement, then physical boosts, the required experience will jump from 10% to 20%. While that may seem simple in games, the real world brims with dangers. I'll save the psychic type for my next unlock. Let's test out this new talent first. In an instant, a saw-like tentacle sprouts from my palm. Time to gauge its might. The tentacle slices through the stone pillar with ease. After the physical enhancement, its strength has skyrocketed. Next up is the contamination organ. With a flick of my control, thick dark green smoke billows from the mucus. These are corrosive spores that can eat away at enemies' airways or skin. I'm thrilled with this ability. With this power, I could transform the entire ship into an impregnable fortress. It's time to head to the next location. Meanwhile, number 26 hops onto my shoulder. I'm curious how the crew will react when they see me now. Will they scream their heads off or sprint for the escape pods? How exhilarating. The scene shifts. Right now, a group of people is scrambling to flee. As they dive into the escape pod, fear grips them and they forget to shut the cabin door. Suddenly, one man kicks it open with a single foot, hastily pulling the control lever. But it's all too late. With my physical enhancement, I effortlessly force open the iron door. Now the folks inside are like sitting ducks waiting to be devoured. While these scenes are brutal and bloody for extraterrestrial beings, this is just a regular day. As blood starts marking the windows one by one, the spaceship quickly sinks back into silence. The lone fortunate researcher feels an odd stillness as the room suddenly quiets. Just then he hears faint footsteps. Strange, barefoot. Then it hits him. It's that alien creature. Meanwhile, I yank his cabin door open and pass him to number 26 since the first thing he spotted was that guy torturing it. Time flies and 2.5 hours later, I ask how it feels to have exacted revenge. But it doesn't seem to get what I'm communicating. It simply thinks it's delicious. It appears number 26 doesn't possess the capacity for higher emotions like revenge. Maybe it hasn't learned yet or lacks the ability to ponder these concepts. Logically, it doesn't hold value, but researchers are super intrigued by it. Could it evolve into a sea demon? Sea demons inhabit oceanic planets. Just like bubble amoebas, they can grow over 25 meters in length. I have strong suspicions that number 26 is linked to them, though in the game it's only briefly mentioned. Who knows, perhaps reality has twisted that. Number 26 jumps back onto my shoulder. I'm gearing up for the next stage of the plan. Full number 26 hops back onto my shoulder. I'm also gearing up for the next stage of the plan. Lambs, the harbinger of doom, has arrived. I suddenly hear a deafening blast. Without a doubt, I know it's the space scoundrels closing in. Music. But I've been on high alert for 2 days, tracking their every move. Right now, they're making a forced descent music onto the vessel. The emblem on the hull confirms they're definitely space bandits. Meanwhile, as a beam of light shoots across the wall, they swiftly open a hatch on the ship. Music. Little do they know, the moment they set foot on the vessel, they're already staring into the abyss. After wrecking the hull, they head straight for the command music deck. Their teamwork screams professionalism. But are they clever or downright foolish? Any sane person would immediately sense something's amiss with this ship, yet their greed blinds them, erasing any trace of fear. Music. As they step inside, they're taken aback by the sight awaiting them. The interior is choked with thick green vines. Music. Several crew members hastily report to their captain. It's as if the cabin has sprouted plants, all that vibrant green. The sight sends the space pirate into a furious rage. Are you toying with me? Time. Music rewinds 2.5 hours. The space pirates just raided a warship and their motto is to leave no survivors. Snatch every woman and treasure in sight. At this moment, the man aligning with them, Music, is furious, feeling the space pirates have broken their pact. In response, the pirate doesn't hold back, calling him a fool. They are the most treacherous lot. Backstabbing Music is how they operate. After dealing with the angry man, the pirate leader barks, "Bring her here." Soon a timid girl steps forward, revealing she connected with Arnold to broker a deal Music but had lost contact for 2 days. While the space pirate is infuriated, Music still inquires who their captain is. When he learns it's the Samuel family, suspicion creeps in. Moreover, dealing with that Eugene family woman reeks of a trap. Music, as he senses a shift in the megacorporation's atmosphere. It appears the Eugene family's grip on power is being contested. Even though their primary business is interstellar music spaceship creation, they engage in clandestine genetic modifications. Right now, the space pirate debates whether to hand over that woman's remains to the Eugene family. He figures they'd pay handsomely for it. He's smelling profits. Without delay, the space pirate commands them to plunder that vessel, Music, since this is their domain. When the woman pivots, her expression transforms. Just as the pirate hears reports from his underlings, Music, he opts to go personally because he refuses to believe there are plants in outer space. Observing the fluffy lion head, we'll nickname him Lion Dog. At this moment, I'm scrutinizing their every maneuver. Music. This insect being can release pheromones through its body. I didn't foresee a biochemical entity among them. Music. Their hearts are mechanically constructed. This pirate's genetic makeup is impressive. It seems my evolutionary criteria are clear. Just then I spot an unusual character. Music. Why does this person appear so mundane? It's as if there's a computer in their head executing tasks flawlessly. Because he senses a shift within the mega corporation lately. It seems the Eugene family's leadership is under siege. Though their main focus is interstellar music spaceship engineering, they also conduct genetic experiments behind the scenes. Right now, the space pirate contemplates whether to turn in that woman's remains to the Eugene family. Presumably, they gladly make a trade. He's smelling cash. Then, the pirate swiftly commands the heist of that spaceship. Music, since this is their territory. As the woman spins around, her demeanor shifts. Just as the pirate receives news from his crew, Music, he instantly resolves to check it out alone because he can't fathom plants existing in space. Gazing at the furry lion face, let's dub him Lion Dog. Now I'm monitoring their every action. Music. This insect individual can emit pheromones from its body. I didn't expect to encounter a biochemical being. Music. Their hearts are artificially crafted. This pirate boasts excellent genetic traits. It seems like my evolving conditions are set. Just then, I notice a peculiar figure. Music. Why does this individual seem so ordinary? Almost as if a flawless computer resides in their mind. When things go sideways, there's definitely something shady going on. Music. I need to keep my eyes on her. I then order number 26 to stay put, though it won't change a thing. I gesture towards the Music plasma launcher sitting nearby. All I need is for you to keep an eye on it. Mission assigned. I turn and stride away. This is the only chance while the enemies are caught off guard. They're blinded by greed. Music, I can guess. They'll be focused on safeguarding the research ship and mothership, splitting into attack and defense squads. My hunt is right around the corner. As I slip through the hatch, I notice all the sensors inside have music been taken down by pirates. They never saw themselves ending up as the victims. Soon, I find myself above the nuclear reactor. Being here puts me close to the music. Control room. 2 robots are on guard. If I make a move, they'll alert the central AI system. How am I going to sneak past them without being spotted? But first, let me grab a quick music bite. I know where everyone on the ship is situated. I've pinpointed their weakest spot where there's just 1 human and 1 insect person. I'm taking them out now. So I launch a bold flanking maneuver. Music. The human didn't see it coming and couldn't think straight. The sudden turn of events left the insect guy stunned. Once he regained his wits, he was eager to report the situation. Music. But in the next heartbeat, my saw blade tentacle had him under control. Before he even knew what hit him, his hand hit the ground. I heard music insect people have tough skin, so I wanted to test my iron head skill to see which was tougher. To my surprise, under my grip, he was like fried chicken. In the blink of an eye, I dismantled him. Just as I suspected, consuming NPC species doesn't meet evolution criteria. I picked up the communicator that had clattered to the music ground and pretended to be the insect person when I contacted them. After they responded, they finally eased up. After all this, I pried open another door, then entered music, the center of the room. Being here allows me to avoid setting off the AI's alarms. With my corrosive music blood, the ship's core soon came into view. If I take it out directly, they'll discover this hideout fast, but I can tone down the venom's intensity to let it corrode gradually. Meanwhile, on the flip side, when Lion Dog and his crew reached the control room music, they were taken aback by what they saw. The survivors appeared to be deranged and bizarre plants filled the space, yet no humans were around. It felt like a ghost ship to him, prompting Lion Dog to instruct his subordinates to keep music, hunting for clues. Soon they spotted a terrifying alien creature in the video feed. Lion Dog recognized it as a serious threat due to its music, high intelligence, but this also opened a door for him to reach out to the Eugene family. He then called for the girl, but she was already in shock from what she witnessed. After a moment, she finally snapped to reality, while Lion Dog was eager to sort out music, their prior contact plan. Discovering the meeting was supposed to happen 2 days ago, Lion Dog contemplated. While he didn't have a clue what music this creature was, the fact they could slip in here unnoticed meant the monster had no idea about their operation. So, high intelligence. But this also opened a door for him to contact the Eugene family. He called the girl over, but she stood there stunned by the sight inside. After a moment, she finally snapped out of it while Lion Dog wanted to review music, their prior contact plan. Learning that 2 days prior should have been when they were to meet, Lion Dog thought about it. Even though he had no clue what music this creature was, the fact they could approach silently indicated the monster was unaware of their mission. So, Music instantly commanded the capture of that extraterrestrial beast. Just then, one of Coxcomm's lackeys delivered grim news. The warship's engines were having issues. Hearing that, Lion Dog's fury erupted. Damn rat music. I'm going to rip you apart. Then Lion Dog summoned the girl once more. You pilot this warship. Before Music could even process it, Lion Dog's minions yanked her towards the cockpit. Unbeknownst to them, I overheard every word. In that moment I chuckled. Haha, he appears really Music furious. What they fail to realize is that there are still survivors aboard this vessel, but I'm well aware and I won't show them mercy. However, because mega corporations look down on Music petty pirates, a showdown between them is inevitable. The survivors and pirates are battling fiercely. I have to capitalize on this. Right now there are 3 pirates, Music, and 1 woman acting casual. Even though this is my moment to strike, uneasy feelings creep in. My instincts tell me this woman is a threat. Could Music, she be the one Arnold mentioned? That monster with many abilities. I want to discover why Arnold said Music, they bore similarities. She resembles a genetically enhanced human. But considering she's a noble from a mega corporation, Music, her genes might already be tampered with. If she's modified to a level comparable to players, even if I push to my larval stage, it would be tough to overpower her. Facing Music, such a formidable opponent, I feel both fear and excitement. After Lion Dog discovered my existence, he aimed to eliminate me because I sabotaged the Music spaceship he was raiding. At this moment, his subordinates were all unsettled by his presence and dared not utter a word. Meanwhile, Coxcomm's guy alerted the leader because his Music device detected human presence, hiding in a sealed chamber. So Lion Dog commanded immediate blasting. Then the demolition expert marked the door. Once done, Music Coxcomm's guy kicked the hatch open with 1 kick. Little did he expect a 1,000-degree laser awaited him. The other Music pirates, seeing this, quickly sought refuge, but Lion Dog immediately activated his hunting rhythm and charged in. In just a few swift moves, he took down everyone inside Music. Only the doctor cowering in the corner remained. Just as Lion Dog was about to eliminate him, the doctor quickly spilled intel. He wanted to know where their captain was hiding Music. Then he learned from the doctor that the captain had fled in an escape pod. This left Lion Dog dumbfounded. Music, the only person who knew the corpse's location, had escaped on a ship. But soon he refocused on the doctor Music again. You're a doctor, so you know where that woman's corpse is, right? He also realized who the pirate was inquiring about, so he honestly narrated the scenario, Music, of getting devoured by the alien beast. At that moment, Lion Dog was infuriated. Why is that monster's presence everywhere? He then straightaway commanded 6 music individuals to team up and search for clues about the beast. Then he redirected his gaze to the doctor again because his squad was conveniently 1 music doctor short. Upon hearing this, the doctor hesitated, but he understood the repercussions of refusal, and I clearly knew their next moves. Music. But regretfully, the doctor hesitated, but he grasped the consequences of refusal, and I discerned their actions clearly. Music. But regretfully, this show wrapped up quicker than I'd anticipated. But with a lion dog mutant thrown in music, maybe that wasn't a shocker. He really whipped those soldiers into shape. They fought like a real army, and now it's my moment to shine. Music. Just then, number 26 came bouncing in. It was like a kid eager to impress its dad, but I had my thoughts. Music. It definitely needed to go out and gain some experience, so I placed it on my shoulder. As long as I handle the annoying music ones, it can practice on the rest. At that instant, a troop of soldiers showed up at the door. They were curious, music, about what kind of beast could create such dense things. After their demolition experts took a look, music, they decided to use a laser cutter to breach the door. Hearing this, a guy nearby erupted in anger and immediately chopped a section of vine, sending the mucus inside music splattering onto another blonde's face. The blonde was furious. Little did he know disaster was looming. Music. Just then, the man saw his knife corroding rapidly. In a flash, it melted away like ice cream. The blonde felt a burning sensation on his face. Music. But before he could react, his entire body melted away in an instant. Meanwhile, the man heard footsteps approaching from afar, but it was too late. Music. I lunged at him with my claws. The few around him reacted quickly, shooting at me, but their bullets felt like mere tickles. I whipped out my saw blade tentacles and took down 2 in one swoop. I left the final insect person for music number 26. I saw number 26 swiftly bind him by the head. Realizing it was safe, I sighed in relief. In the meantime, I caught voices calling from nearby. Looks like music, I missed one guy. Before he could even respond, I swallowed his head whole and the communicator continued to relay inquiry. Music voices clueless about what had just transpired, so I imitated that guy's voice. Once I got a response, the other side cursed music, because this was no laughing matter. Glancing at the communicator in front of me, I decided to hang onto it for now to distract the pirates. At that moment, I noticed this music cyborg before me still had a heartbeat. Could it be he's a bio-android from the Star Union? The Star Union swaps out music frail human bodies with machines, enforcing their ideologies on other species, no matter if they consent. If they catch you, they'll modify you forcefully. Mega corporations, music, and the Star Union are more monstrous than I am. Taking a bite, I discovered his body was half machine with a strong copper flavor. Then the information screen lit up again. I had fulfilled half the criteria needed for the pupa music stage. What a delightful surprise. There are 12 cyborg pirates aboard that ship. If I consume them all, I could immediately rise to the next stage. Music. Now it's time to track down the next squad. Space pirates might spell chaos for the unprepared, but for me, they're nature's bounty. Upon finding another squad, the stone man up front unleashed laser guns, music at me, and in a flash I was right in front of him. So a stone man, huh? Let's see how tough your head is. Before long, all were down. Even 3 cyborgs melted straight away. Music. Glancing at the severed limbs on the ground, the other side cursed music, because this was no joke. Staring at the communicator before me, I resolved to keep it handy to mess with the pirates. Then I recognized this music cyborg lingering before me still had a heartbeat. Could it indicate he's a bio-android from the Star Union? The Star Union replaces music fragile human frames with machines forcing. The cyborg before me still had a heartbeat. Could it be that he's a bio-android from the Star Union? The Star Union replaces music, their ideology, upon other species, whether they like it or not. If you're snagged by them, they'll impose modifications against your wishes. Mega corporations, music, and the Star Union are less monstrous than I am. So I bit down once more. His body tasted half machine with a strong metallic flavor, and the Star Union are more monstrous than I am. Then I took a bite. His half-machine body had a strong copper flavor. The info panel popped up yet again. I'd met half the conditions for the pupa music stage. What an unexpected treasure. There are 12 cyborg pirates on that ship. If I devour them all. Stage. What an unexpected surprise. There are 12 cyborg pirates on that ship. If I consume them all, I can immediately reach the next stage. Music. Now I must seek the subsequent squad. Space pirates might be a week-long nightmare for others, but for me, they're like gifts from nature. When I stumbled upon another squad, the stone man shot laser guns straight at me, music, and I appeared before him in an instant. So you're a stone man, let's test the fortitude of your head. Before I knew it, they were all down. Even 3 cyborgs melted directly. Music. Observing the scattered limbs, I felt a tinge of regret. Just to be cautious, I decided to take a bite. Maybe I could extract some gene fragments. Yet as I chomped down, I discovered nothing but screws. Music. Indeed, gambling isn't wise. If I haven't dispatched someone myself, the chance of triggering the predator instinct is minimal. So music. Just as number 26 was ready to take out the pirate, I lunged with my tail stinger. This threw number 26 off guard. It figured I was just starving. Once it understood number, music, 26 fully supported my strategy. I feel guilty pulling this on number 26, but there's no other option. Just then, the man's communicator buzzed with an incoming call. I reported our location music, but to my surprise, my voice still sounded like that of the previous dude. This instantly raised alarms on the other end. Damn, I nearly blew music my cover. After some clever bluffing, I managed to weasel my way out. They seem to have strict protocols. I need to quickly handle that lion dog. And at this moment, Lion Dog already sensed something was off thanks to his military music history. He was super strict about reports. Regular folks wouldn't be so casual around him. His instincts told him the other party was lying, so he wasted no time gathering everyone to check out the lab. He felt something shady was going on with the people music there. Then Lion Dog ordered the doctor to take him to the escape pod. He wanted to rig a bomb in there because he was planning to blow the whole ship up. Sure, the crew would go down with it, but to eliminate the monster, he loathed every bit of this music was worth it. He was a guy who would go to any lengths for his objectives. Meanwhile, he was eager to learn about the alien creature's weaknesses. Music. When Lion Dog found out it had none, he was in disbelief. The doctor's demeanor didn't seem like a lie either, which indicated the doctor was more scared of the monster than he music was. After a brief moment, Lion Dog reevaluated his plans. He needed to gather everyone. I really respected his sharpness. Only someone like him could truly be my rival. Is greater than, music is greater than. Meanwhile, the pirates who got the alert instantly assembled and rushed to the lab. This time, I'm ready to unleash new skills, music against them. I then connected the psychic organ with the derivatives on the walls. This is another application of the contamination organ, the hive mechanism. I can wield the psychic organ to control music, these branches. Now, these branches spread across the entire mothership, and these dudes are effectively trapped inside me. Just then, the pirates sensed something was amiss. By the time they figured it out, I had already activated the paralysis spores, music. If they inhale even a whiff, they will be nothing but sacrificial lambs. Before long, I took down a bunch of pirates. Even I didn't see this skill, music, turning out to be this effective. It's just that at this moment, I'm feeling dizzy. Right then, Lion Dog had the doctor take him to the escape pod. He intended to rig a bomb there, wanting to blow up the entire spaceship. Sure, the crew would perish too. But to eradicate the monster, he detested all this music seemed worthwhile. He was a man willing to do whatever it took to achieve his dreams. Meanwhile, he sought to learn the alien creature's weaknesses. Music. When Lion Dog discovered it had none, he was incredulous. To him, the doctor didn't seem to be lying either, which suggested the doctor was more frightened of the monster than he was. After considering it for a moment, Lion Dog resolved to alter his plans. He must gather everyone. I found his perceptiveness impressive. Only someone like him is truly worthy to be my opponent. Is greater than music, is greater than. In the meantime, the pirates who got the word immediately formed up and headed for the lab. This time I'm going to bring out new skills, music, for my attack. Next, I connected the psychic organ with the derivatives on the walls. This is yet another function of the contamination organ, hive mechanism. I can use the psychic organ to command music, these branches. Now, these branches blanket the entire mothership, and those people are as good as being in my belly. Just then, the pirates smelled something fishy. By the time they realized I had already turned on the paralysis spores, music. The moment they inhale even a tiny bit, they'll just be lambs for the slaughter. In no time, I had dispatched a group of pirates. Even I didn't expect this skill to be so handy, but right now, I'm feeling dizzy. Having used such a large chunk of energy at once, I suddenly am hit with hunger. Music. Now it's time to feast. Scene transition. After I consumed over 10 individuals, I once again opened the attribute panel. So far, music, I've devoured 8 cyborgs, needing just 2 more to complete the task. Another 5 people escaped. But what puzzles me, music, is why they ran straight into the training room. There are endless spots they could check out, but they opted for that one instead. Could it be for improved combat music? The training area is far larger than all the others, yet they were caught off guard as previous astronauts had the exact same thought. That space has transformed into my eating area. Right now, I can sense their pheromones and breaths through the door. Music. I can confidently say they'll be utterly stunned when they see this room. So I had number 26 wait and conceal themselves behind me because my music hunt is just about to kick off. As I dashed into the room, Lion Dog was already there awaiting my arrival. The few onlookers in the command center, music, were glued to this scene. Meanwhile, the girl was still focused on steering the aircraft carrier. Watching the leader battle the music, 2 underlings grew impatient. The girl tried to explain the ship's mechanics to them, but these noobs just couldn't grasp it and quickly turned to walk away. The very next music moment, her expression shifted. Arnold, you did splendidly. At this time, she realized the alien was skilled at using smoke as a cover, but her farsight eye could easily pierce through all of it. She noticed the creature had a peculiar affinity for munching on music genes. This led her to think the monster could have unlocked a special skill. Could he be a creature that absorbs genes and evolves music? This means he's akin to me. Thus, she was convinced Lion Dog couldn't triumph over the monster since Lion Dog had always been under her dominion. With such music captivating prey in her sights, the woman was thoroughly thrilled. The pirates had become irrelevant to her, so she decided to stop hiding. Compared to the name White Jean given by the Eugene family, She much preferred music to be known as the Spiral Witch. On the flip side, as soon as Lion Dog spotted me, he immediately launched an assault mechanical arms, swinging straight at my head. Meanwhile, music, I swiped my claws at his midsection. His reflexes were lightning quick. This forced me to create some distance. Noticing me momentarily distracted, Lion Dog shot an electronic music pulse at my tail. The electric surge enveloped my entire being in an instant, but he was in for a letdown. After all, music, I'm nothing like those electronic gadgets. Just then, Lion Dog spoke slowly. So, you're not some new weapon forged by the Space Union. You music, get what I'm saying right. Upon hearing this, I was taken aback. Then he pulled up his collar. I caught sight of a red button on his neck. Turns out he's linked the bomb switch, music, to his heartbeat. If he goes down, then the nuclear bomb aboard the ship will go off on his command. At that point, everyone on board is doomed. The doctor's physical music response confirmed he wasn't bluffing. He seems to value his own life immensely. He possesses sharp intellect, an enhanced physique, and a sense of superiority. Nothing can diminish his will to survive. Then he pressed the button directly, activating his most powerful form, the hunting rhythm form. Instantly, a music suit of hard biological armor enveloped his skin. In that moment, I felt the energy radiating from music his form. This made me sense impending danger from his presence. He wore climber jeans. Due to their tough shells, they're also dubbed rock dragons. With both strength and music speed heightened, he lunged at me in an instant. I swiftly lashed out my tail's stinger, but music. Much to my surprise, it couldn't breach his defenses at all. Then, Lion Dog's sandbag-sized fist crashed into my skull. At this moment, he was bewildered. Such a heavy hit didn't even break the monster. Seizing this chance, I swiftly distanced myself from him. If it weren't for my hard head, I would have already met my end. I want to know why he mentioned the bomb. This must be his motive. He aims to play dirty. Then Lion Dog extended his hand in mockery. Your attacks are futile. Gazing at his armored body, there aren't many spots for me to strike. Unless it's plasma weapons, nothing else can break through. As long as I can puncture any part of his body, it's game over for him. But he seems aware of my intentions. Every time I unleash my venomous stingers, he snatches them up. But my tail isn't the only lethal weapon in my arsenal. I can excrete venom from my fangs and claws. If I break through his armor and strike, I claim victory. Then I pulled out the supersonic blade. Perhaps a surprise attack will work when he's vulnerable. After all, mutants have one glaring flaw. That is their absolutely terrible stamina. The cargo bay is where I first got acquainted with this world. It's the perfect spot for stalling for time. And Lion Dog didn't waste a moment. His rampage terrified the roaches hiding below, sending them scattering. I was far from polite and skewered them, because even little mosquitoes are a meal. One bite and they're fresh and juicy, truly a top-notch source of protein. Faced with Lion Dog's fury, I stood no chance of winning. Though mutants are quick and powerful, they burn through energy rapidly. That's why he needs to pause and catch his breath periodically. If I keep provoking him and forcing him to expend energy, there's no doubt he'll eventually need to take a breather. Right now, my only option is to wait. Meanwhile, Lion Dog was in a frenzy smashing containers while I remained hidden watching closely. But there's another crucial detail. I know he has two hearts, and I'm not sure where he installed the nuclear bomb switch. Typically, a mutant's heart is located on the left, so it's likely the detonator is there. Yet he's smart. I can't pinpoint its actual location. Just as I contemplated this, Lion Dog spotted me. His fist like a hammer shattered a container with one hit. But thinking he could catch me is just a pipe dream. After all, this is my turf. As I slipped from sight, Lion Dog was left to fume fruitlessly. He remained stationary for over 10 seconds. He must have minimized his weaknesses during his enhancements. Normally, he'd be immobile by now. But except for his speed, nothing else had significantly altered. It seems he can't entirely escape the need to rest. For me, this presents a rare chance. At that moment, Lion Dog sensed movement behind him. He swiftly grabbed chunks of the floor and hurled them backward. Unfortunately for him, I was ready, so I was forced to change course. As I landed, I surged toward him, but Lion Dog seemed to anticipate my move. Just as I approached, his fist came crashing down on my skull. Little did he know this was a calculated flaw I presented to bait him into a trade of injury for kill. As I closed in, his fist once again slammed onto my skull. Little did he know this was all part of the trap I set, hoping to exchange a blow for a kill, aimed to swap a wound for a takedown. In a flash, I whipped out the hidden supersonic blade, slicing open a wound at his joint. Music. When Lion Dog realized he was caught in a trap, it was way too late. Instantly, venom surged through my fangs into his music veins. He felt agony. Lion Dog hurled me away. That damn bug had the audacity to bite me. Meanwhile, Lion Dog felt something off in his body as he noticed his fist lacked any power. Music. Before long, his entire frame started to shake. Even his legs couldn't hold him up. Spotting him about to fall, I charged forward. Although the paralysis isn't as music effective on humans, the toxin should have spread by now, and the once arrogant Lion Dog was now beneath my foot. I then pried open the armor on his chest. Music, since I needed to disable the detonator within him. Just as I imagined, he'd linked the detonator to the second heart on the right. Music. When it's hit hard, the countdown kicks off. He understood if this thing broke, he'd be done for two. This guy seems to despise me deeply. but for me dismantling it is just a matter of music time. Should I consider analyzing the mutant's gene sample afterward? At that moment, I heard number 26's voice. That sent a chill down my spine. Didn't I instruct it to find a safe spot to hide? Turns music out, it came to warn me about trouble. Upon hearing this, I halted my actions instantly. The next moment, a vivid memory struck me. It depicted number 26 and me being music cleaved in two by some force. That left me stunned for 2.5 seconds. Recovering, I rushed towards number 26's music direction and scooped it up. Just as I made my escape, an overwhelming energy struck precisely where music I had just been. Following that, I heard footsteps from a woman. She figured out I had precognitive music powers for my reaction, so it's her. I meant to deal with her later. Didn't expect her to show up in person. I noticed she wielded a gleaming blade, likely crafted from her music genes mixed with Galar's steel and another advanced organism's genes. Not only that, I sensed she carried over 10 different genes within her. In music, my current state, I stood no chance against her. Every part of me screamed a warning, warning me to avoid that beast. Music. Damn, I need to retreat. At this moment, the woman glided over to Lion Dog's side and plunged music, the blade in her hand directly into his chest, clearly intent on prolonging his suffering. I felt intensely anxious in that instant. Music, confronting an opponent. I didn't know how many times stronger than me. What could I do? If I attacked her now, it would be pure madness. The only course of action music, had was to remain hidden, observing her for intel. I then noticed her eyes appeared to be space observer eyes or possessed some other powers. Then music, she called out to me. You remind me of myself so I can spare you. But the deal is you need to serve me. I finally grasped music. Why she hesitated, she wanted me as her pet. The room fell eerily silent as I realized she was telling the truth with no reasons to deceive. The blade on music, her wrist, was Galar's steel clawed. Even my tough shell wouldn't shield me. Though she only revealed this, I knew she had countless other weapons ready to music take my life. Right now, surrendering to her is my most logical option. Watching me lower my hands, the woman's lips curled slightly. She noticed my decision. Music. Excellent. You've made the right call. Although I pretended to comply, she could never guess what I was really thinking. Music. The reason I can't help but be drawn to this bumbling, useless character in the game is straightforward. It's all about the freedom of choice. Music, he can endlessly consume, evolve, and grow stronger. And here I am, with just one choice. Expecting me to bend to her will is utterly impossible. Meanwhile, I bowed my head and slowly approached the woman. She was quite pleased with this. Music, my goal was to let her lower her defenses. Just as she reached out to pet me, she suddenly sensed, music, something was off. But by the time she reacted, it was far too late. The offshoot I severed sprayed a significant amount of venom. The instant she music lost her sight, I quickly turned and bolted. The woman was furious about this. Sneaky one, is this your true choice? But that only made her music even more eager. If you want to play, then I'll let you enjoy the game to the fullest. In the next moment, several fiery slashes came straight for me. Music. The poor lion dog found itself caught in the fray. I understood she could often defeat her foes, but I wanted to teach her a lesson. I needed her to music realize that victory in battle isn't solely about strength. Moments later, Lion Dog crawled from the debris. It was infuriated at this moment because it hadn't anticipated the girl to be so cunning. Music. As a king, it wouldn't accept this lightly, seeking vengeance instead. Meanwhile, number 26 noticed my leg was music hurt, but I had no choice. If I hesitated for even a moment, that guy might catch up. I could only tell number 26 not to music fret. This woman has unusual eyesight. My sneak attacks should have no effect. Even if I hide, she'll locate me swiftly. Besides her vision, she may possess other sensory skills. Music. Right now. My time is incredibly limited. Wasting time won't help me. Now she must realize I'm anxious about the bomb. She might think I'll music use escape pods to flee, so she seals off the hangar entrance, forcing me into a corner. She will finally wait for me to reveal myself willingly. This could be part of her plan. Then, she'll aim to overpower me using her immense strength. In other music words, classic tactics. The strategy she's employing mirrors what I did against the pirates. It's akin to battling another player. Now I should concentrate on neutralizing the threat, not on the bomb. Regarding the unknowns, I'll have to uncover them in the heat of battle. The music. Current challenge is my attack and defense capabilities aren't even close to matching the enemy's. But if my power surges, I suddenly recalled something I'd neglected. Music. I had seen its form in the lab earlier. As long as I consume it, I can temporarily boost my physical abilities. The skill she wields is called Sword Dance. Music. That's the superpower she acquired by devouring other genes. At this point, I can't tap into that ability since I haven't reached that level yet. But once I evolve into the pupa stage, that power will be mine. Then my armor can withstand music, her blade. Plus, I'll be able to launch ranged assaults. The only drawback is it demands a tremendous amount of energy, so I must finish her in a limited time frame. However, once I evolve into the pupa stage, I will gain that power. Then my armor can withstand music, her blade. I can also unleash ranged attacks. The only downside is it requires massive energy, so I must finish her within a certain time. I dropped number 26 down and it looked confused about what I was plotting. Music, but I just told it to chill. If memory serves, that thing should be right here. And just like that, I spotted its figure. Gotcha. Music. In the game, picking it up meant just a buff notification would pop up. I'm dying to know what reality feels like. So I straight up, music, yanked it out from the medicine stash. I had to test this myself. Witnessing this number 26 music, quickly tried to intervene since it sensed the danger. I assured it not to freak out. This thing won't take me down. I didn't hesitate a second, music gulping it down whole. The next moment, a force surged right through my skull. My whole body felt like it was ablaze. Music while I felt my power surge. I was enduring a brutal tearing pain, forcing myself to grit my teeth and hold on. As time passed, little by music, little when I opened my eyes again. I had finished the second stage evolution. At that moment, I felt remarkably music good. I opened my attribute panel. Although this evolution is temporary, the buffs should be enough to face that woman. My reinforced exoskeleton upgraded to a monster music exoskeleton, while the sharp horns on my head are now perfect for ramming or stabbing foes. Plus, my left arm has a new bone spike launcher. Its power rivals that of a plasma pistol. I can even tweak its features. Music. Looking at this, I'm thrilled because I can launch surprise attacks on my enemies out of nowhere. Music. Furthermore, there's now a layer of spirit armor. It shields me from mental forces. With this, I'm no longer worried about Jur steel slicing through my skin. But I can't get too cocky yet, since in the game, this has a time restriction. Music, I guess, in reality. It's also limited to 5 minutes. I quickly picked up the girl's location. What I need to music do now is drain a wave of her energy. Then I connect it to the derivatives on the ground. 5 minutes isn't a lot of time, so I've got to wrap this up fast. Music. Meanwhile, on the other side, the girl was on the hunt for the monster's outline. Suddenly, she noticed things squirming overhead. In the music next moment, the pod-like objects started spraying tons of liquid. The unexpected situation left her no chance to evade, and the liquid music poured down onto her face like a downpour. This infuriated her, feeling like an alien music creature was toying with her. She blasted a hole in the Space Mother ship. I could even sense the violent tremor from here. Music. At the same time, I felt her racing towards me. I told number 26 to hang on tight because I still needed to siphon off some of her patience. I then music sprinted towards the mothership's nuclear reactor. Over there, she couldn't unleash her full power since even the slightest touch or disturbance could lead to an explosion. Music. No matter how many genes she had, there was no way she could survive a nuclear blast with her current abilities. I was just about to take music. One last passage to reach the core area when the girl appeared right before me. I noticed her displaying a charming smile. "You naughty little thing. Finally tracked you down." Then 2 blades, music sprang forth from her arms, sensing the threat. I quickly tossed number 26 aside. The girl wasted no time, unleashing several sword energies. Unable to evade in time, I could only face them head-on. After evolving, I definitely became tougher. Yet I could clearly read her attack patterns. Usually, I wouldn't catch a glimpse of them. Could it be my hypersenses at work? This sight left the girl slightly taken aback. She didn't foresee my rapid growth. Seizing that moment, I charged straight at her. But her reaction speed exceeded my expectations. She swung down towards my chest. Right now, I had no choice but to feign vulnerabilities to lower her guard. In that instant, she felt my speed had significantly ramped up, but to her, it was still nowhere near enough. This match felt like kids playing house. At that moment, I sensed my chance was at hand. While she recovered, I deftly activated my tail to ensnare her and launch the bone spikes I just gained. Just as my attack was about to land unexpectedly, her speed surged dramatically. With a single strike, she shattered all my assaults. Impressive. You've truly caught me off guard. In the next heartbeat, a formidable aura erupted from within her, and sensing its danger, I quickly retreated. But it was already too late. In the blink of an eye, my tail was cut off. Damn, this woman is really difficult to handle. Then she stepped on my severed tail, knowing my strategy was to close the distance. You're quite the intriguing toy. I suppose you've heard of red mist, right? Only then did I realize what that red smoke surrounding her was. Red mist is a predator native to jungle worlds. Its fur releases menacing pheromones. If she also possesses red mist's illusion skills, I must outmaneuver her before the drug's effect wanes. Panicking won't do me any good. I need to stay level-headed and look for my opening. Then I charged at her again. Yet the Spiral Witch found this amusing, seeing it as merely someone at the end of their wits. I resolved to use the same tactic I employed against the lion dog on her. Sacrifice injury for a kill. Once in range, I unleashed a torrent of strong acid venom at her. I took one of her hits, but it delivered the result I aimed for. For the Spiral Witch, being toyed with by something she deemed a pet was an utter disgrace. So I seized the opportunity to launch several bone spikes at her, yet the Spiral Witch appeared quite shaken. As the crimson form faded, she still defended against my assaults. Observing the scene, I instantly realized. Despite her immense power, she harbors a critical flaw. Seems like she can't wield 2 powers at once. She still blocked the attacks. Observing the scene, I instantly realized. Despite her immense music power, she harbors a critical flaw. It seems she can't wield 2 powers at once.